Hello, my beautiful flower friends. 2023 is right around the corner, and I just want to take this opportunity to create a video where I look back on the year and appreciate the small moments of pause and growth that happened in my life and in my business. If I were just to think back on the past year, I would say overall, not everything went as planned or as well as I hoped it would, but I know that if I dig a little deeper and look back on some moments of the past year, I will see that I have achieved some things that I didn't even set out to achieve. So I hope to just take this opportunity to reflect on the year. I hope this video inspires you to look back on the experience of this past year and acknowledge and appreciate your own moments of growth as well. So let's get started. Good old January. I started this year off physically strong. I was able to do a chin-up, pull-up hybrid, and I was proud of myself because at least for a little bit, I did continue to keep up some sort of physical strengthening routine. But spoiler alert, I did not keep up with it. So I am still learning what systems and settings work for me in developing more healthier habits. So that will continue into the new year. February. I learned what types of friendship nourished me. In this video, I truly understood what it felt like to be alone yet surrounded by people. And no one really talks about friendship and how friendships change when you grow older. And I think that's something that is a very personal discovery. So even though it was hard at the time, I'm grateful that I am still learning, but I've uncovered a bit of what friendships nourish me. March. This was just a random night where I looked up in the sky and I noticed how bright the moon was shining and how fast the clouds were moving. And it was just a moment of pause during that night, and I took the time out to just appreciate nature, and it was so wonderful to do because I realized that I don't do it enough as a homebody and introvert. I tend to just stay inside. Just taking that moment to pause and appreciate nature, it was nice. In April, I started getting back into running daily. And even though running is not something that I enjoy, I am proud of myself for doing this because I was challenging myself mentally and physically. I also received 2 scholarships for entrepreneur courses, and looking back, I didn't really acknowledge that as an achievement. At the time, I was putting a lot of expectation in completing these courses and thinking that these were the things that I needed to propel my business in exponential growth. And when it didn't happen, just knowing that I got these scholarships became more of a reminder of disappointment that my business didn't grow in the way that I wanted it to. But looking back on this, during these 2 courses, I was able to really clarify my mission, my vision, and really get clear on defining my business, who I wanted to serve, and what it basically stood for. And on the outside, that doesn't look like a lot of growth, but on the inside, it was a lot of foundational work that I needed to do. So I am proud of myself for finding these 2 courses, applying to those scholarships, and actually getting them. So good job. Good job, me. In May, we had a sudden cold blast, and it It was weird because it was in May, so it was springtime, and all of a sudden it was just snowing. And I remember walking to the apartment, but then realizing, wow, those mountains just look beautiful with the snow. And ever since that moment, I have always looked to that side whenever we walk back to our apartment just to appreciate the scenery. And I do miss that place. In June, I conquered the Manitou Incline, which is about 2,744 steps. Some of them are very, very steep, and they're uneven as well, which adds to the physical challenge of it. And there are so many false summits as well, so mentally it's a challenge as well because you think you get to the top, but in reality, it was probably only 1/10 of the way up there. But I am really glad that I did it, and the view made it very worth it. Also, I was able to fly back home and visit my family and enjoy my brother's cooking, which I have missed very much and continue to miss. But it's true when they say distance makes the heart grow fonder. In July, we knew that our time in Colorado was dwindling down, so we made an effort to be tourists in our own city, and we visited the Red Rock Amphitheater, which was so amazing to see, and also the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Museum, which was very high-tech and interesting, though it was a little disappointing because I thought there would be more interactive games, but still, that is something that I'm glad that we were able to experience and check out. It's a nice reminder to sometimes have that touristy mindset even in the city that you're living in, because you're just going to find little gems in the city that you live in, and that'll just help it feel more homey. In August, I did my second ever official 5K, and this was even after I stopped running daily, so I'm proud that I was able to complete it at what I thought was an acceptable pace. In September, I wanted to expand the type of floral projects that I did on YouTube, and it was a really nice exploration to finally create these projects and ideas that I had only in my head for so long. It inspired me to go to the thrift store and see what I could find so that I could think of other projects to do in the future. In October, I continued to lean into that thrift store exploration, and we visited a bunch, and it was so fun and exhilarating to find what was buried in those dusty stacks, and I uncovered a lot of old photographs from just other families, and it's really interesting to see these photos that meant something in the moment to them and kind of see a snapshot of that. It's really interesting. We also took a road trip to visit family again, and this was our second time road tripping, almost across country, and we really nailed down our budget-friendly road trip methods. But once we were with family and friends, that budget mindset was out of there, and it was all about indulging in company and delicious food. No. Why didn't I record it when he was doing it? It's good. It's not very hot though. Like temperature wise.
Okay, that's it, folks.
Wait. Yeah. If it's hotter, I think it'll taste better. And also, so far it's not very special. But I will keep eating and I will keep seeing. Bye. I also turned 28 this month, and it was really bittersweet because it was like a moment of convergence of looking to the past and looking into the future. Did like a really quick flashback of what I had achieved in my 28 years in life and thought about what I wanted to achieve in the next years of my life. And I'm grateful to be able to experience new adventures, like showing my mom around Colorado and seeing her do things for the first time as well, like going on an airplane and flying back home by herself. Age really is but a number. You just have to look towards how you want to grow in life. In November, it was crunch time for our move, so a lot of this month was spent decluttering, packing, and reliving old memories. I'm really thankful for this apartment. It was our first apartment together. It was the place where my business became official, and those thin walls have seen a lot of growth in our lives. So it's bittersweet that we've moved on from there, but exciting as well, because I know something new is coming.
Turn left, then turn left onto the ramp.
The leasing office, the mailroom, the pool. Goodbye. In December, we started off this month in New York, and there was always something happening in New York. That city is bustling, and we visited a lot of markets. I was able to visit a lot of plant stores and stationery stores. It gave me ideas for what I wanted to do in my business in the future as well. I do want to do in-person markets. I eventually would love to have a brick and mortar store, but that is down the line. For now, I'm just putting it out there into the universe and letting you know so you can hold me accountable. I would love to have a brick and mortar store, but baby steps, but it's really inspiring to see how far they've taken their own businesses. After the bustle of New York City, our life arrived from Colorado just in a box, and so we have been unpacking, mostly unpacked and settled. With the new year quickly approaching, it's really easy to get into the mindset of looking back into the year and just holding on to your disappointments and reframing them as resolutions for the new year. Instead, I want to start the new year looking back with gratitude and appreciation. So while it is still the holiday season, I wish you a warm holiday season. I wish for all of us nothing but opportunities to flourish and grow in the new year. And with that said, I will see you next year. Until then, take care, happy creating. Bye! Of this year.